Alright, so here we are. I'm gonna read I'm gonna read Genesis chapter 31. I guess I kinda just zoned out. Anyways, there's 55 verses, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there is. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob have taken away all that was our father's, and that which was our father's would have gotten all this glory. And Jacob behind the countenance of Laban, behold, it was not toward him as before. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of thy fathers and thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel, and lead to the field upon his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the God of my father hath been with me. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father. And your father have deceived me and changed my wages 10 times. But God suffered with him not to hurt me. And if he thus said thus, the sparkled shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bare sprinkled. And he said thus, the ring-striked shall be thy hire. Then bare all the cattle ring-striked. Thus saith the Lord, taken away the cattle of your father, given them to me. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up mine eyes, and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring-striked and sparkled and glistened. And an angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob am I? And I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes, and see all the rams which leap upon the cattle and ring-striked, sparkled and glistened. For I have seen all that Laban doeth unto thee. I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointed the pillar, and whereunto vowedest and vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion of inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted of his strangers? For he hath sold us, and have devoured also our money. For all the riches of God have taken from our fathers, that is ours, and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God hath said unto thee, do. And Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives unto camels, and he carried away his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, and the cattle of his getting which he had gotten, and patted it for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. And the band went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were his father's, and Jacob stole away unawares to Laban in Syrian, and he told him not, that he fled. And he fled with all that he had, and rose up and passed over the river. And he set his face toward the mount of Galilee, and it was told Laban of his third day that Jacob was fled, and he took his brethren with him, and furnished after him 7 days journeyed, and he overtook him in the Mount Galilee. And God came to Laban and Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob, neither good nor bad. Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob have reached his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mount of Galilee. And Laban said unto Jacob, What hast thou done? And thou hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters, and captures away with the sword. Wherefore didst thou flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and didst not tell me that I have sent thee away with mirth and the songs that tempereth and have harp, and has not suffered me to kiss my songs and my daughters, and thou hast now done foolishly in so doing. It is the power of the hand to do you hurt, but the God of your father spake unto me yesternight, saying, Take thou heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. Now though thou needst to be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? And Jacob answered and said unto Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Peradventure thou wouldest take by force thy daughters from me, which more so with whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live before our brethren. Discern thou what is behind with me, and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. And the band went into Jacob's tent, and into Jacob's and Leph's tent, and into the two maidservants' tent, but he found them not. They went he out of Leph's tent, and entered into Rachel's tent. And Rachel had taken the images, and put them in the camel's furnace, and sat upon them. And the band scratched all the tent, and found them not. And he said to her father, Let it not displease my lord, that I cannot raise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. And he scratched and found not the images. And Jacob was wroth in accord with Laban. And Jacob answered and said unto Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin? Thou hast so hotly pursued after me, whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, and hast thy found all thy household stuff. Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us. This 20 years have I been with thee in ears, and they she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. That which was torn of the beast I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it of my hand. Dost thou require it, brethren? stolen by day, are stolen by night. Thus I was in the day, the rock consumed me, and the frost of by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in thine house. I served thee 14 years, for thou 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle, and thou hast changed wages 10 times. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hast sent me away now empty. Yet I've seen mine affliction, and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what I can do this day, now these my daughters are unto their children, which they have borne. Now therefore come thou, let us make a convert, I and thou, and let it be for the witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, Gather stones, and take stones, and make a heap. And they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it but Jacob called it Galeed. And Laban said, This heath is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Galeed. And Mizpah, for he said, The Lord watch between me and thee when we were absent one from another. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take over other wives, because besides my daughters no man is with thee. See, God is witness betwixt me and thee. And Laban said unto Jacob, Behold his leaf, behold his pillar, which I have ceased between me and thee. This heath be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heath to thee, that thou shalt not pass over this heath and this pillar upon me for harm. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge betwixt us. And Jacob snare by the fear of his father Jacob. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning Laban rose up, and kissed his sons and his daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed, and returned unto his place. That was all of chapter 31. Holy.